Hello friends, this is Jim with Science Talk. Quick story here about the Amazon rainforest. The Amazon rainforest is not just dwindling, it's approaching a crisis point. A new study has laid out how the combination of deforestation, climate change, and other factors could push the rainforest beyond the point of no return, meaning that it will not be able to recover or be sustainable. We all know that the world's forests are shrinking, and they've been able to put up with a lot of abuse that humans have tossed its way. According to a new study published in the journal Science Advances, the forests may be reaching a crisis point. If deforestation goes beyond 20% of its original spread, the Amazon rainforest will have reached a point of no return. Basically, if you remove more than 1/5 of the rainforest. In the study, Thomas Lovejoy and Carlos Nobre set out to see if they can ascertain this tipping point, as well as seeing if they can identify more clearly what must take place for the tipping point to be reached. So if we understand what can lead to that, we then know how we can mitigate that, or what steps are needed to not even let that happen. Basically, they want to know how far could the deforestation progress, how far can you push it before everything comes tumbling down. Mainly looking at the water cycle within the rainforest. If the water cycle is upset or disturbed in such a point, then the water cycle may not be able to sustain the rainforest any further. If the climate changes by deforestation or global warming, there's a risk that more than 50% of the Amazon forest becomes a degraded savanna. This is from Carlos Nobre. And he emphasized that in the last 50 years, deforestation has made its way to about 17% of the Amazon's vegetation. Now, the problem with having forests become savannas is that forests have much more biomass for a given area. More biomass means there's more plants, meaning more plants are able to take in more CO2, carbon dioxide, from the atmosphere. If you change this over to savanna, basically grasslands, the grasslands will not absorb, take in as much CO2, thereby more CO2 will be left in the atmosphere, and as humans continue to combust fossil fuels, we're still, of course, adding more and more CO2 into the atmosphere, but now the plants are not drawing down as much CO2. So overall, the net result is a further increase in CO2 levels. There's been lots of reports and studies suggesting that if you could reforest regions, grow the forest back again, that this would be a way that by having more trees, you can therefore have more CO2 drawn down from the atmosphere. A reasonable line of thinking. But unfortunately, if you're cutting down the trees, that kind of doesn't work out so well. Here's the interesting thing that they found. By their estimates, it would take just an additional 3% of current deforestation rates to render the rainforest unsalvageable. Now, deforestation, of course, is an obvious and severe and imminent threat to the rainforest, but it's not the only one. Of course, there's climate change. There's also the use of fire. Climate change and fire use are also adding to the destruction of the rainforest. In addition to the degradation of what's left of the rainforest, and don't forget the wildlife that are found in there, degradation of the water cycle would also have a severe impact. And it would have a severe impact on humans as well. Now, it's also been mentioned how the Amazon rainforest has been quoted as being the lungs of the planet. And that's because they take in so much CO2. As I mentioned just a few moments ago, they take in so much CO2 and thereby help CO2 levels from increasing that much more. If we start losing the rainforest more so than what already has been lost, we're going to accelerate the CO2 levels in the atmosphere. So I wanted to bring you that report there. I've done videos in the past about this sort of topic. It's a topic that I follow, along with other topics that, for those of you who regularly watch my videos, you kind of know what topics I follow and report to you on. And this is just one of them. If you please share this video. If you like this, please subscribe, hit the bell so you know when I drop a video in. Please go to patreon.com/Science Talk with Jim Massa, and I hope you consider supporting the work I do. For those who are patrons, thank you for your support and continued support. We'll talk soon.